Krishna, who is speaking in the Gita and explaining his reality as the ultimate foundation of our existence. This evoking for intellectuals, scholars, and artists, literary figures. These names, I don't know if they're well known to you, but of the study of religion, also Joseph Society in America today. Isherwood co-authored translations with Swami Prabhavananda of the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Sutra, the Viveka Chudamani. Also wrote really a very beautiful, authoritative disciples to themselves after the book. They enjoyed this band and their music. So very, very influential. And his Salinger was the author of most famously a book called Catcher in the Rye, which Salinger very famously withdrew from. The reason was not known, actually, to pursue spiritual life, to meditate. This meditation, how should he deal with? He popularized Joseph Campbell, like Houston Smith, was the direct inspiration for film director George Lucas' attempt to create an American mythology that would capture a lot of the Vedantic ideas that he had learned from Joseph Campbell. And the film series Warrior, he teaches the main hero, Luke Skywalker, in the ways of the Force. And pretty much every word that Yoda says comes from the Upanishads and the Gita. If you know what to look for, you'll see Vedic thought very much in Star Wars. There were other influential Hindu masters who shaped a lot of the ways many Americans who are drawn to Vedic thought, how they understand it. These two never actually came to America, but they have many followers in America, Sri Aurobindo and Sri Ramana Maharshi. There's in fact an entire university, the California Institute of Integral Studies, is based on the teachings of Sri Aurobindo. Also the Esalen Institute, very famous research institute, was inspired. Sri Ramana Maharshi and his understanding of Advaita Vedanta is really how many Americans understand Advaita Vedanta. So these were also very influential teachers. Mahatma Gandhi had an influence, not so much on religiosity, but on the realm of politics and the idea of using nonviolent methods for social change. Gandhi, of course, drew from many traditions, but of course he was very deeply rooted in the Vedic tradition and in the Gita. Luther King Jr. and the nonviolent struggle for equal rights for African Americans. This made Beatles. Of course, he's not American, he's from the UK, but his music was tremendously popular around the world, and especially in America. Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, everybody likes the Beatles, right? It's hard to listen to and sing every day. Though Indian music has long appealed to a small group of connoisseurs in the West, somewhat like Indian cinema today, the famous friendship of George Harrison and Ravi Shankar brought in that excluded people from all parts of Asia. This racist act was overturned, and in 1965, it was possible. That's snow on the ground, and you might think, where was this taken? Is this somewhere in Kashmir or in the Himalayas? No, this is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We get winter, we get snow here in Pittsburgh. Surveys show the Hindu community in America to be one of the most affluent and educated religious communities in the United States. Every year publishes research on the economics Jewish community, and they sort of go back and forth in terms of which one's number one, which one's number two, but they're always the top two. This places this community in a very good position to again shape public opinion and to really be a catalyst for many of these attitudes and ideas of the Vedic heritage. And as Hindus become increasingly part of American time for discussion, and so if the moderator wants to take the questions, or I can read this first question from Shantanu Sarkar. Sir, how is American culture being influenced by Vedic thought and ideas from a cultural and social point of view? How do they take Vedic insights from the perspective of Hinduism or as a moral and ethical? As I was presenting, much of this is happening in a very unconscious way. The various, again, influential in true, but in a way that is somewhat disconnected from their original historical and cultural foundation. So it's happening in a very kind of and so on. So it's a very kind of indirect influence that has come in. Someone's asked about Steve Jobs. Yes, he was someone who was very
And how do they take Vedic insights from the perspective of Hinduism or as a moral and